I'm going to record a quick end game Phantom Summoner grind. We're going to do it without shots today because I want to just sort of demonstrate what this looks like. The class itself is always about surviving with a specific amount of mana that you have and trying to essentially pick up mana over time so that you don't need to rest. The best XP that you're going to get with it solo will be in a setting where the pet is swinging as much as possible and you never have to rest. Um, it's important to remember, though, just because you're a summoner and you're built around pets doesn't mean you are not also quite strong. Um, we're doing this without the COV. We're doing it just with songs dances, which is this is what someone could make something like this in a relatively short order. Um, you're going to need some supports in the 5x, and you could do something very similar to this. Obviously, the salvation and whatnot is a little bit extra, and the white assassin you won't have in the 5x area. But if you were to say buy 5 accounts, you could make something like this. You'd probably only end up having level 1s of these buffs, but this is the kind of thing you're going to look to try and build. In my opinion, if you're going to play this class and you're going to do stuff like this, which is sit in a 6x zone, you're going to want those supports. So far I've been doing basically nothing. I've just been targeting mob after mob and doing some explanation. Now we're going to start mixing in some of the skills, which is going to show you sort of what you can expect to maintain when you use specific skills. The Body to Mind, believe it or not, is actually a fantastic skill still at level 79. It's a level 35 skill. This Phantom Summoner relies on actually quite a few low-level skills to make its magic happen. So we're just going to keep grinding this out. So because we have the Unity 4 up, which is incredibly important for being effective with this pet, essentially you're going to find that the Unity 4 is a very integral part of making that happen. Um, Gonna keep smashing that Body to Mind. Obviously, if you're not very good with it, you're gonna find you're doing what I'm doing right now, which is not necessarily gaining it that fast. But if you're really paying attention to your business and you're touching your keys properly, you're gonna find that you can use this quite often. And over the course of some moments, the mana does actually build back up quite well. Um, so removing the need to heal is a major part of this quotient, obviously. So getting a high VR count as good as possible. If you didn't want to go for like a full setup, you would probably want to do something like 2 buffers or 1 buffer. If you were to go for just a single buffer, probably your Prophet is going to be your best long-term bet. And this is because you only need 1 buff or maybe 2 buffs from fishes that you're going to fish. And you're going to be able to get at least everything up to on the first 2 bars here. Obviously, the songs and dances without 1 account is never going to happen. So we're going to try and doing this without the songs and dances here as they fall, and we're getting now more into what this will probably look like for your grinding. Um, it's still quite fast. The class is still very capable of surviving, doing some good stuff. And notice I'm doing this without the Orphan on because I'm trying to demonstrate, what the battle actually looks like. Um, and I'm doing this at the moment without the cubic. So let's resummon the cubics here, and we're going to add them to the mix now. And you have the stun cubic and you have the phantom cubic. The cool thing that's really cool about this class is the fact that you don't need to be doing anything for them to go off. All you have to do is target. Whatever you're targeting is going to eventually receive it, assuming you and the target are in combat. Uh, it is because this class is the way it is. It's actually sort of funny if people come up like with a melee weapon or something like that. Very often, if you're white and you have to, avoid getting PK'd, um, you are able to essentially your cubic when you target them will not flag you because it goes off and you are targeting them. So because of this, you can actually stun people and remain white, which is a very rare trait in this particular game. Um, so we are definitely battling harder, and I have not been pressing that button, and naturally we need to start regenning. You're going to battle this. We're now going to triple aggro, so we're going to hit the pet UD. It's very convenient. It will make this a lot better. We've now picked up even a fourth mob, and we're definitely starting to battle it here. We're gonna just keep pushing. We'll see what happens. I think we're gonna be all right though. We're just gonna keep smashing the buttons here and see what happens. Oops, that was inefficient right there because I'm healing the pet when I shouldn't be. It wasn't needing health because it's got UD on and it currently is doing most of the tanking. So that UD has now fallen, and it's getting even more interesting. One of the things you'll often have to do when you get like this, you'll have to rescue yourself. So I will demonstrate a rescue. Um, Obviously, you want to try and avoid, fighting six mobs at once, but nevertheless, the class is still quite resistant to a situation like this. It can do quite well on very small amounts of mana. Now we're completely out of mana and the pet will die, but even still, we're capable of running away and everything's all good. It's no big deal. We're totally in a disaster right now. I mean, most classes at this point are in bad shape, but not the Spectral Master. It is going to just run away and over here log out. So really, this is just should show you that it's important to have buffs, right? Now, obviously, you're not going to be leveling up in a 6x zone. This is like really, complicated stuff to be fighting with a particular level 1, level 79 without any support. I mean, most classes in the game can't do that, but the Spectrum Master is nevertheless quite adept at it. Thank you for watching.